Hey guys, this video is going to be a makeup tutorial on how to achieve this pink and champagne look. I wanted to play with pink and champagne tones today, so I had a vision and I created it while filming. So I hope that you like this look because I think it is really pretty, girly, romantic. I think it can be a day-to-day look, it can be an evening look, so stay tuned if you want to see how to get this look. I also have kind of like a first impressions mini review on some new products, mainly MAC because those are like the newer eyeshadows that I tried out today, and a couple other techniques that are new to me. So there's also a first impressions on those products. I also came across a few new beauty tips that I gave a test to in this video. I tried out a couple of them, and for the most part, the thumbs up. I enjoyed them and I'll use them again. So this video is not just a tutorial, it is also those new tips and tricks that I learned and that I liked, and then I show you how to use it, what to do, and what products I'm using, as always, techniques and everything involved. So I hope that you want to stay tuned and watch this, and if you do, I will see you soon. So as usual, we're going to start with priming our face, and today I'm going to use the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. I love this one. There goes the lid. I will have to get that later. Almost as much as the Becca Cosmetics, so I thought I'll give it another shot today. And it just gives a really nice luminizing finish to your skin. And it's hydrating. There's no scent to it. So this one's a really nice primer from the drugstore. I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation today. And I'm going to put a pump of that on the back of my hands. The first beauty trick that I am trying out for the first time today, so we are going to see together how it works, is to take one drop of a beauty oil and mix it in with the foundation. This is supposed to help keep it more moisturized. It adds more benefits to your skin while you're wearing foundation. It's supposed to be more luminizing. So there are supposed to be some really great benefits to using a beauty oil, and you literally put one drop with your foundation, but I have never done it, so we're about to see how it turns out. I already know that this is a really great full coverage foundation. So at least I know that I'm not, going in with a new technique on a new foundation. I already know that this is a great foundation. And I've tried this beauty oil a couple times. This is made by Tarte. It is a pure maracuja oil. It's just a little sample that I got, but it's not like crazy hydrating. It just has a nice amount of moisture. I didn't want to go in with a really thick serum because, again, I've never tried this method before, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. As usual, I'm going to go in with my Morphe M439 oh my goodness, brush and start buffing out the foundation. So far this feels really nice actually with that oil added in. It is blending out really nicely, which this foundation does blend out nicely on its own, but you can feel this added moisturization to it. And it feels a little bit less heavy. So far I really do like this. I'm also buffing down my neck so that way we have no harsh contrast and everything is blended out seamlessly and it's all even and matching. Now I'm not sure if you're somebody with really oily skin, if you're going to want to add a face oil to your foundation. You're probably going to want to do something more mattifying by adding more of a mattifying powder to like your setting powder rather than adding more oil. I am more dry to normal skin, so I wanted to try this out, but I really do like this. So I'm going to be trying this out a couple of times. Hopefully it doesn't break me out. My skin feels a little bit tacky, but more moisturized than usual. So I'm going to give that a minute to kind of absorb and see where that goes. And in case you missed my tip on the last time, I said just when you're doing your foundation, close your lips and go like that and brush it over your lips so that way you just get all the little skin and like little creases around your lips. It's not so much to put foundation on your lips, it's just to get all your skin. I'm now putting my MAC Pro Long Concealer on my eyelids because this is a great concealer that acts as like a double. It's great as a concealer and it's great to prep your eyelids for eyeshadow. So I don't feel a need to have to put a primer on my eyelids as well. This kind of does the job 2-in-1. As usual, I'm using my Morphe E20 to blend this out. With concealer, you always want to go back and forth when you're buffing it, whether or not you're using a brush or a beauty blender I am so tongue twisted today. A sponge of any type. That way the concealer doesn't set in one direction. That way you're kind of fooling the concealer by going back and forth into all your different little pores and creases, and it doesn't really have a chance to just settle in one way. Now I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked Skin. I'm using medium light neutral, and this is going to be my under eye concealer, and then it is also going to conceal my forehead, my nose, and then a little bit on my chin just to kind of tie in all of the conceal color. By going a little bit lighter with your shade, you can use it as a highlighter too. I don't really like going light with the concealer to make it a highlighter, but if you're trying to kind of get in an extra step of highlighting, you could use it right now and just go in with a light highlighter, and that works awesome to start your base with like a highlight effect right away. Again, on the under eye, I'm going back and forth with my concealer so that way it doesn't settle in one spot. You're kind of fooling the concealer by moving it around as it's settling and drying. So that's just a little side tip that's a great one. I don't think I've mentioned it before, even though I always do it that way. I don't think I've ever actually said why I'm always moving my brush around in different motions, so that is why. Now for me, I'm going to add a little bit of extra highlight and glowy and dewiness today because we're doing that romantic pink champagne look. I'm going to use the Cover FX Custom Enhancing Drops in the shade Celestial. These are like amazing. You take one little droplet and it is enough to do the highlight on both cheeks. And this has like an icy rosy pink tone. So I think that this is going to be a beautiful highlight to finish off the rosy champagne tones that I'm going to do on the eye look today. But I haven't actually done this eye look yet. I have an idea and a vision in mind for how I would like this whole look to turn out. But I'm trying it for the first time with you guys. So hopefully it turns out the way I'm envisioning it. But I thought that this one will be a really pretty base for a highlight. And I know it's like boom in your face, but this will settle down once we start doing powders and we set everything. These ones happen to be the exception to highlighting or to liquids and powders, where you can actually get away with putting this on top of a powder, where every other time you want to always do your liquids before you do your powders, which is why I have not set my makeup yet. But I still prefer to even put these ones on with my liquids before setting anything. But you definitely can get away with using these ones on top of powder. Somehow these little miracle amazing droplets are just awesome. Now I'm going to set my under eye area using the RCMA No Color Powder. And this is a really great setting powder. You can use any kind of powder that you like, but this one I think is a great setting powder. I'm trying it out with a brush today. I always use a damp beauty blender, but I wanted to see how using a brush works. So I'm just trying out all these new little tidbits with you guys in this video so we can see how it turns out together. This is really crucial in making sure that your concealer doesn't crease up and get cakey throughout the day. I'm going to set the rest of my face using my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Compact. You could even use that translucent powder that I was using to set your face, and then set your neck as well, since we brought the foundation down the neck. But any kind of powder will do the trick. We just want to make sure that this all stays in place and we don't have any issues with transferring or losing foundation, it becoming like spotty throughout the day, anything like that. Now I'm going to warm up my skin using MAC Give Me Sun Bronzer. Just going to lightly dust this over my whole face. I'm going to take that same bronzer and put a little bit under my eyes so they don't stay white. I'm going to take Urban Decay in Midnight Cowboy and set my whole upper lid with this really light champagne tone. This gives the littlest bit of sparkle. I also love that Sephora one that I mentioned and I've used quite a few times in tutorials, but I'm switching it up and using this one today. It's just a little bit more on the pearl side compared to that Sephora one. Now I'm going to contour using Benefit Hoola. This is a really great contouring shade because it's really nice and neutral and warm. It's not like too warm, it's not too cool tone. So I'm going to go from the tip of the ear and go right under the cheekbone and do a sharp line. And then this one you can do as much as you want. You can create a really sharp contrast for your contour line. You can do it really subtle. You can kind of carve it out and cup your cheekbone. You can do the straight line. I like doing a pretty harsh contour and a straight line. I forgot to mention I used my Morphe M523 brush for contouring. And now I'm going to put blush on my cheeks. I'm going to use the Becca Jaclyn Hill little Shimmering Skin Perfector Mineral Blush Champagne Splits. And this is just a beautiful little split. It has her Champagne Pop and then Flower Child for the blush. And I'm actually going to use both because these two are just going to complement the look that I have in mind for this romantic champagne pink type look. I'm going to start by using the blush and dabbing it in, tapping it off. I'm going to angle it outward and then work it up. This is a really subtle, soft pink. I tried to combine subtle and soft and make a new word. So this one's great because you can build up your pink. And I like going on the angle and working your way up because I feel like it kind of like contours your face and brings it upward rather than like centering it on, or focusing it all on the center. So if you wanted your highlight to be really soft, you could put your highlight on first and then your blush over top, so it's more of like a glow from within. But if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I like bang and highlight, so I like to put it on the top. And I'm going to leave the blush as is. You want to just kind of work it so it doesn't like go into your contour and it doesn't hit your temple, but it all like blends out nicely. And as you can see, that really intense highlight I already put on earlier is not like banging in your face the way it was before, but there's still a subtle one. So now that we're going to set that liquid highlight with the Champagne Pop, it's going to pop really nicely. So now I'm going to take Champagne Pop and using my Morphe M501, put a little bit on my cheeks, the apples of my cheeks, and then blend it upward. I think an icy one would work too. Becca makes a really pretty pearl, and I think that would go really complementary with the pinks, but I really want to do champagne tones today. You can always put your highlighter a little bit above your eyebrows. You can do your nose. I don't like doing the nose, and you can do a little bit on your chin. My dogs are playing, so you might hear them playing. You might hear them playing because they're like playing with like a lot of noise and talking in the background. I'm also gonna highlight my Cupid's bow. Yeah, see, there's my little Lou. He's my munchkin. Now using my Morphe M459 brush, I'm going to tap it back into that RCMA No Color powder and add it to right below the contour line just to sharpen it. I'm going to go from the middle of the ear and just stamp it out in a straight line and then let that set while we do the rest of the face. And this is just going to give a really precise line and help clean up any kind of like excess bronzer that worked its way downward and anything that might look muddy. This is just a really great trick and it works amazing every single time. I'm now going to take ColourPop in Fringe. It's their Super Shock Shadow. That's a tongue twister. And these are great because they're super inexpensive and a little goes a long way. You can use your fingers to apply it. So this is going to be my base for my eyelid, and then I'm going to do all the pinks off of this one. I'm just going to quickly tightline. You guys have seen me do this a million times, so I'm not going to show you too long, but I'll quickly tightline with the black liner, and I did my eyebrows off of camera. I haven't decided if I'm going to leave this as a highlight yet for my waterline or if I'm going to end up turning that into black, but it's easier to do this and then put black on top. And as I'm trying to keep this with a romantic champagne and pink eye look for the day, I'm going to start off with doing a champagne highlight for my waterline. And then if I change my mind, it's easy to slap black on top of this. Now for the next new tip that I am trying out, that I am really nervous to try out. You know how I usually do my eyes first and then my face because of fallout? Well, there is this trick where if you load the... My dog wants to play so badly with one of my other dogs, and he is whining, and Dumbo wants nothing to do with Luby today, but they're being really cute. If you take that same RCMA or any kind of powder, excuse me, and you load it up underneath your eyes, and you just leave a huge pile of eye powder underneath your eyes, any kind of fallout that happens from doing your eyes, it's supposed to just go into the powder, and then you're supposed to just be able to wipe the powder away and all the fallout goes with it. So I'm using some pigmented eyeshadows that will have fallout and glitter that will definitely have fallout. So I'm putting this to the test like big time with both the eyeshadow and the glitter today. And hopefully it's not a disaster, because once it's in the base, it's in the base and there's nothing you can do except take it off or deal with the eyeshadow and the glitter being in it. So I'm going to take my damp beauty sponge and a ton of powder. And this is just going to go under the eye until I am done with my eyes, and then I'm going to be wiping all of that away. In the meantime, it's also baking the under eye, which is trapping your body heat and between the powder and your skin. So it is baking that concealer, the foundation, the powders, and everything between your skin and this powder. So it's supposed to become more bulletproof throughout the day. But because everything else is already complete, this just makes me nervous. Certainly does not look cute. But I really wanted to test it out, so I thought I might as well test it out for the first time on camera so we can see if this method actually works. I'm going to take my Morphe M441, and this is a large fluffy brush, along with MAC in Sweet Lust, and use this as my transition shade. This is very powdery, so I'm going to tap it off, and I'm going to put this in my crease. And there's not going to be any precision with this. I'm just going to slap it on there. It is great to have a light color as your transition base, because you're not even going to see this color once you're done applying all your other eyeshadows. But having that laid down really helps with the blending process of all the other colors later on. So I really recommend using some kind of a light tone for your transition base and just really working it into your crease, but not worrying about being precise with it. I'm going to now take Pink Venus. It is also a MAC eyeshadow, and my Morphe M433. It is a fluffy brush, but it is a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm going to spray MAC Fix Plus on it, because that is just going to help pick up a little bit more pigmentation and make it a little bit more metallicized. And I'm going to work this into the corner of my eye and bring it outward. I'm then going to take MAC in Girly, which is a darker, more mauve tone, and using that same Morphe brush, I'm going to pack this on in the corner of the eyes to bring in some more darkness for depth. This will give really nice dimension to the eyes. I'm going to take that same MAC in the Pink Venus and work that up in the crease just to blend that same shade out with all the other pinks. And then I'm going to go back with that original setting powder that I used, that Urban Decay in Midnight Cowboy, and also bring that into the crease just for a little bit more of that champagne tone to bring that back in with the pink. I'm going to take Too Faced's Glitter Glue and apply this all over my eyelid now that we have the base for the pink. And this is definitely the best glitter glue on the market. So hopefully this is going to hold up a lot of that glitter and there won't be too much fallout. but I've never actually used this glitter. I'm going to go in with MAC Pigment in Kitschmas. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that, but I will link it below. And this is crazy pigmented. I'm just going to take a flat brush and pack this on the eyelid. Yeah, there's still some fallout, even though this glitter glue is awesome. This is a very pigmented glitter, and it is going everywhere right now. And I can see all the fallout that is happening onto the white powder as I am doing this. It is just like pink glitter galore. So I'm going to be really interested to see if this holds up or not. Now, you don't have to do any kind of eye glitter. You can obviously skip the eye glitter step. You could also do the glitter where you would stop about halfway in, so just the inner corner would have the glitter, or the inner corner of the lid, I should say, would have the glitter. I obviously like bringing it out over the whole lid, but there are so many ways you can mix and match how you use your glitter. That is completely up to you with how your preference is. But this is a really pretty glitter that is definitely popping. It's just, I can't believe the fallout, and this is making me really nervous. But like I said, this is putting it to the test, so we're gonna find out very soon if it worked or not. Oh, and I was using a Sephora 234 medium shader flat brush to apply that pigment. I'm going to start by wiping away the contour line because that has been a bacon for a long time. And then I'm going to wipe away the under eye bakeage and protection layer from the fallout, whatever we're going to call it. I'm so nervous. All right, I don't even know how to like remove this without making a disaster. Both eyes. I guess just quick wisping motions to try to get it all away. Wow. Guys, I'm not seeing any leftover glitter. I think I had a little bit of glitter that fell down here, which the powder obviously didn't catch. But I mean, I could have been, I guess, a little bit more careful. But that method really worked. Yeah, like I have some glitter that's on my nose, and that pigment was just everywhere. So that one may just not be a great one to use when you're doing your face first. The Makeup Geek ones that I have, the OCC, Makeup Forever, those ones don't fly everywhere when you open it. Those are really easy to work with. So I want to try this out again with a different brand because I've never used the MAC ones before. And I probably should have tested this out with a glitter that I know doesn't fly all over the place, because when I opened this up, it was just like poof, pigment, dust. It was like fairy dust everywhere, which is pretty, but now it's all over my face. So that is on my nose, but for purposes of testing it out underneath the eye, that really does seem to work. So if you really love doing your face first and you just don't want to do your eyes first, I think that this is a workaround. I'm going to touch up my under eyes with a little bit of bronzer because there's a little bit of white that really did set in there. But for the most part, that's another tip that worked. So far I really loved using the beauty oil for the first time, adding that into my foundation. I feel way more moisturized. The concealer or foundation concealer doesn't feel so heavy and cakey. It's much more light on the skin. And then using this method for catching the fallout seems to really have worked. I showed you guys how nicely that powder cleans up a contour line to give it a really nice straight edge. And I tried out a couple new products. That blush, that Flower Child was my first time using it. I think it's really pretty. That was the first time using the Celestial Cover FX drops. I think those are gorgeous. First time using all of these MAC eyeshadows and this pigment. And so far these are all really pretty. So I'm going to continue working this look and finish it up. I'm now going to take my Ardency in the color Hell. It is just a dark brown. I haven't actually used this shade yet. I've used Ardency a couple of times, but not this shade. It arrived moments before I sat down to film this video. and I'm having a hard time finding my brush, so give me a second. So using a flat brush, this is the Morphe M432, I'm going to dab it in and then smoke out the bottom of my lash line. And these eyeshadows are really buttery, pigmented, and beautiful. So I love using dark browns for underneath my eye. So why not try this out today, since I'm trying out so many new products and tips and tricks and everything else. To tie in some of the pink tones on the bottom, I'm going to take that MAC Pink Venus and do the same thing. I'm just going to work it underneath my lash line. We want to try to get some of these top lid colors on the bottom lash line, just so the whole look ties in a little bit nicer. Now this one isn't really showing up, so I'm going to take the darker shade, which was called Girly. You know, these eyeshadows don't actually offer that much coverage. I am a little bit disappointed in it. I really thought that when I got them and I swatched it that they looked really beautiful, and they are, but I was expecting a little bit more color coverage and it didn't give it to me. The glitter is beautiful. That is poppin'. I'm so happy with it. But the amount of eyeshadow that I'm having to use to try to get any kind of color is actually really disappointing me. It is my first time using MAC eyeshadows. Like the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer is my all-time favorite bronzer, and the concealer along with that Fix Plus. Those three MAC products, like, I can't live without in my makeup routine. They're just absolute staples. So I thought I would try out their eyeshadows as well, but I am not really thrilled with the eyeshadows. So I don't think I'm going to be repurchasing any MAC eyeshadows anytime soon anyway. I'm going to try to tie in the champagne tone using that Urban Decay and see if that works. And if not, I'm just going to go for a different pink because I have some other pink ones. I was just hoping to keep this more in the MAC realm for a tutorial today because I haven't actually done that. But it is not working out the way I was hoping it would. So I have a Bobbi Brown pink, what is it, silver lilac, and this one is really pretty. So I'm just going to use this and tie in those icy tones down below because Bobbi Brown never disappoints. And that is going to bring in, yeah, that's bringing in color already. I forgot the fourth MAC product that I can't really live without is MAC Nylon. This is just such a beautiful inner corner highlight and under your eyebrow bone for a highlight. So those four products are just beautiful, and this one is really pigmented and gives such a great highlight. So maybe MAC just didn't hit it with the pinks. Maybe I should give them another shot with a different color. I think I will. But in their pink tones anyway, they did not kill it. I'm going to take the same MAC Nylon and highlight underneath my brow bone, tie that shade in. So you can see how this is all coming together really nicely with the MAC, the pinks, that lilac-y pink shimmer, popping in the inner corner, doing the highlight with the champagne color. So all the colors are coming together really nicely. It just took a lot of application, way more than I was expecting. Now, one more little tip, if you happen to take your eyeshadow too far out, which I didn't, but I just thought I might as well show you guys this one too, is you can stamp out using that same RCMA powder, and that's going to clean it up for you. So I'm going to do both sides just so it's even, but if you're trying to create a really sharp look or like a faux wing almost just by having that really precise eyeline like type of look without putting in that eyeliner going all the way up, you can stamp it out just like that, and that will also help clean it up. Now, I'm really nervous to try this out, but I'm going to take some of that pink pigment from MAC that I put on the lash or on the whole lid, and I'm going to put a little bit in the corner because I do want to tie in the pink on the lower part too. It's just that this was so shimmery and messy. Yeah, this is going everywhere. I'm just going to brush that away, and you can already see that that just gave like a nice straight line. So that cleaned up any kind of mess that would have been made on the outside. Now I'm just going to apply mascara. I'm using my Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye, but because I'm always using this one, I've actually ordered a few more mascaras to test out for you guys. I think they're coming tomorrow or by the end of the week. So I will have a few more to test out and give you feedback on. If you wanted to apply falsies, you would just put one coat of mascara on right now, and then you would go ahead and apply your falsies. But as I totally suck with falsies, I will be doing quite a few coats of mascara. I'm going to try out my Charlotte Tillbury Lipstick in Secret Selma. I think that this color is going to look really nice with the look that we have going on. I was really sick last week for like a whole week straight. Migraines, vomiting, and everything. My lips are so chapped and they still haven't caught up, even though I've been exfoliating, moisturizing, hydrating. So they are a little bit chapped and cakey. I'm going to add the lip gloss on top. I hope that that brings in a little bit more moisture. I'm going to try to do a topper with Chanel Glossimer number 19. This has some like icy tones in it. And I have never mixed these two, but I think that it's going to look really pretty with the eyeshadow. Yeah, it is. This is a great combo. Today I'm going to try to set my face, or I will set my face, with MAC Fix Plus. I've never used this one for my setting, just for all of my little spritz for applying eyeshadows, but I want to see how it feels as a face setting spray. Oh, it smells really nice when you apply it to your skin. See how all of that meshes together, but there's no kind of runniness or anything from the mascara, so that is good. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and learned some new tips and tricks that you want to try out as well. I've been sitting on those for like weeks and weeks and weeks, if not a couple months, and I had just never tried them out. So I'm happy that I could try out all of those tips with you guys for the first time. I definitely think that putting all that powder under the eyes worked well. I think that I will stick to my way of doing the eyes first, but it is definitely a good way to do it. Or if you're just sleepy or you're in the habit of just slapping on your foundation, at least there's a way that you can kind of like fix it last minute by just putting on that powder. I really liked using the beauty oil in the foundation. My face feels so wonderful right now, and that really made the Milani foundation feel much more lightweight on my skin because it is a full coverage foundation. I hope you like the contour line that I've showed you before, but then also that new line with the eyes to clean up the eye look, because that worked really well too. Unfortunately, the MAC eyeshadows didn't have as much color coverage as I hoped that they would, but they're still really pretty. And I really liked using the MAC Fix Plus setting spray for setting my face, not just using it for the eyeshadows. So that smelled really nice. It feels really nice. I hope that it holds up throughout the day. And I think that that is everything that I covered, but if not, I did say the tips along the way, what I was liking and what I wasn't, but I think that sums it up. And if not, then hopefully you caught it in the video if I just missed it right now. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Good night, good morning, wherever you guys are. And until next time, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.